Python tutorials on loops. Okay, so in the last video I covered while loops. So in this video I will be teaching you the for loops. For loops are basically a little bit more complicated and have a lot of content in them. So while loops are quite simple. Okay then, let's go on, and I will share the link of the while loops video in my description below. Alright, let's start by opening a new file. And let's just put a comment there, for loops. For loops. So basically the syntax of a for loop is like this. For, there needs to be a variable over here. There need to be a variable over here. Variable. So a variable over here is quite essential. So like while loops, for loops do not need an indexing variable. So like in while, we need a variable to be declared before the loop. So you can see my last video to see that I introduced a new variable before the while loop, but for is not like that. So for, then there's a variable here, and after that we have our special word here. So it can be in, yeah, it can be in, or after in, then you introduce another variable here, a variable storing a list or a range of numbers. Okay, so that's the syntax. Okay, and you have the code after that here. Okay, so let's write our first for loop here. For x in. Okay, so before that we can create a list. Let me name that list1 equals square brackets. Let me just fill that in with the game, technology, and Python. Okay, so for x, if x is in list1, then we have to print out values of x. Simple enough. So let's run that, and we can save it first. I'll just save it as for loops. Good. So in the list there were 3 words: game, technology, and Python. All 3 of them have been printed one line after the next. Okay, so let's go to the next stage of the for loop. What if we want to just print out all the letters in a word? So we can take the word as technology. For x is a variable, the number of letters in technology, and all the letters in technology will be printed one line after the other. Let's test that out. Amazing. T-E-C-H and blah blah blah. Okay, fine. So technology, all the words have been printed. Amazing. Okay, so there's another really important thing I need to tell you. Just in like while loops, the break and continue statement also apply for loops. Let's test that out. Okay, so we are printing list1, each element of list1 here. What if we don't want to print Python? What if you don't want to print technology? So for that we need to just pass in an if statement inside the for loop. If x equals technology, then you have to break the loop and continue along with Python. So we can just test that out. Amazing. So it just prints game and technology. Okay, and the continue statement Good. So that's the continue and the break statement for the for loop. And we have another really important function in the for loop. So testing the range of numbers. Okay, so what if you want to print all the numbers from 1 to 10 using a for loop? So you have this special keyword range. For x in range 1 comma 10. Please don't forget the comma. Okay, so if we want to print numbers from 1 to 9, we say 10. Last number should be added to 1. So we want to print all the numbers from 1 to 10. We pass in 1 comma 11 and we print x. Okay, let's run that out. Amazing. All the numbers from 1 to 10 have been printed. And what if we want to just print the even numbers? Skip counting by 2. Then we add a third parameter with 2 because we want to skip 2 numbers between them. Alright, so let's run that. And it will print only the odd numbers here. And if you want the even numbers, then you can just pass in 0 and check it out. Amazing. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All the even numbers have been printed. So that's the range function. And what if 2 loops are there, one loop inside the other? And we can just take that list 2 equals one corresponding word for each game, technology, and Python. So we can say good game, good technology, good Python, and we can say marvelous, interesting. Alright, so if you want to print good game, good technology, good Python, similarly marvelous game, marvelous technology, marvelous Python, and interesting game, interesting technology, interesting Python, we need to do this. One loop inside the other, also known as nested loops. So for x in list 1, so first list 2 has to come because the adjective is first. Another for loop here, for y, that's a new variable, for y in list 1, we have to print the values of both y and x. Alright, let's run that. Amazing. So, oh, I'm sorry. So it should be x and y, the adjective first. Sorry. So we run that. And we get good game, good technology, good Python, just like what I said. So those are nested loops. Just one final thing, it's a void or a pass statement. For example, for x in list 2, and we want this loop to be empty for some reason or the other, we use the pass statement. So the pass statement will tell the interpreter to ignore the loop. Nothing will be printed. Alright guys, so these are for loops, quite easy, and I'll just give you an exercise. Please try it out later just to test your understanding of loops. So I want you to print all the numbers divisible by say 4 from 1 to 100. So you know how to do that. Okay then. Goodbye, thank you, hope you liked this video, and please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to receive the latest updates about my new videos. Alright guys, thank you, goodbye.